Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. You'll see it is early morning. The sun hadn't even come up. It is before the sun's coming up. And I've got a busy day today. I hadn't even cut my machine on, so I'm cutting it on here. Today, welcome. We are working on the Grandma's Scrap Quilt Sew-Along. This is a Sherri McConnell from AQuiltingLife quilt. There's a beautiful story behind this quilt. It is in one of my prior videos, but I'll tell you, because I can't remember. My machine's getting itself going here. There is a beautiful story. Sherri McConnell, somehow roundabout, she came across her grandmother's quilt. And she really liked it and wanted to make one for her mother because her grandmother was no longer. And she got the quilt and broke it down and made, this is the quilt, the pattern that she made. So the step that I am on today, I have not cut out my 6.5-inch medium light colors. The only thing I have done right now is the 36 medium dark, 36 light medium 7.5-inch squares. This is a free pattern. It is online. So I'm not giving away anything that's not out there already given freely. And I've cut my, I think my 45 2.5-inch by 8 strips. Now it looks like I have more dark strips than light strips, but it says I'm going to be making 15 9 patches. Now I think I've gotten, let me show you what I've gotten already sewn together. I've already gotten these sewn together, and what I just did like 2 darks and a light and 2 lights and a dark. So, and I've alternated it. Because when I cut these, I'll use 2 from one and 1 from the other, but I will make two blocks out of that. And we need to make 15, so 1, 2. So I've got 8 of those already made, which means I need to make 7 more. So, but if I make 7 more, I have to have 15 blocks. I'm guessing I'm not going to have one of the blocks repeated. So I have to, I don't know that I have 7 more too. I have 6 more of these. That should be, I don't know. I don't know that it's going to be enough. But we will see. I know it's not going to be enough. Oh well. We shall do our best. And yeah, I really love those blues in that. We're going to see, I only have 2 greens. You need 3 of each color to make what you're looking to make. So let's see what we got here. I've got plenty of blacks and reds. So I am going to do reds. So I'm probably going to need to cut out more of the light colored because I have plenty of the dark colored. But for right now, I just kind of wanted to show you how to do this. Now this first stitch is going to be pretty loud. What I did, this is going to be 2 darks and a light, so. And you have to make sure to make 2 each time you make one. You do 2 darks and a light and 2 lights and a dark. That way you have your alternating colors. So I just go on and do 2 strips. Now this second one is going to be my 2 lights and a dark. And I will let you guys know we're probably not going to have a full hour out of today's because I have a very busy day ahead. But that don't mean you can't sew for an hour. So what we do is we'll just add that second strip here. Even though I think I do remember why I did this. I have a lot of squares. So even though I don't have the 8, I have the squares. So I can show you both of them. So maybe I have plenty, yeah, I have plenty squares of the light color. And these squares come from using the fat quarters. So I can use the squares, the extra squares that came from the fat quarters to finish the rest of my blocks. Forgot that's what I was going to do. So I hope you guys are having a lovely Sunday. Of course, this is pre-recorded. I am not sewing on a Sunday. I am spending time with my family. But I'm going to go ahead and get my squares. I have 2.5-inch squares. You can do this with 135 2.5-inch squares. I don't have 135, but that's okay. So I still have green and 1 yellow. So I am going to do the green. That was blue and red. And it looks like I'm going to have a lot of red. I can do a green and red. Because I have 3. So the only thing I need is 1 more. Well, I can't do it like that. I'll have to... Since I have enough to do 1 green and red, we will go on and do the 1. And then we'll see what our alternating piece will be. And then we'll count to see how many more we need. I'm trying to keep these with the same 2 colors. So that way, the blocks aren't, the 9 patches or 9 blocks are not too busy. Because this is going to be very scrappy. It's going to be different color blocks. I mean, I just have blocks cut out to the size that they need to be. Okay, so I need 2 reds and a green. So now, even though I have these, I will have to block up my next one with the 2 reds and a green. I do have some of these, and let's see. See where our greens are. So we've got 2. I've got to count because I forgot. So this is 11 and we need 15. Okay, so 3 greens make a center strip. So we're going to have green, green, red, green, then red, green, red. We'll use this as the 2. It's not really going to matter. I just need to get them sewn together, I guess. Let me find some reds. So here we're going to have a red, green, red. And this will make a block. So I think what I'm going to do now is actually just kind of start pressing and cutting the strips, and I'll make the others off, but since I'm having to use the strips here. When I cut that other 6.5 inch square, I will have more left over to make the rest of the strips. So that will not be a problem. The pattern does say to press open. I don't know if I'm going to press open. I don't think I am. So let me get to pressing, and I will press all these and this one here and show you how we make the blocks. Okay, I am now back. I finished pressing all of my strips open, and what I did was I pressed to the dark, because when I cut it and then use my alternating ones, they'll be pressed to the dark so they'll nest. And I have this one strip. So I have 2 ways of cutting my strip sets. I do not have a stripology, but I do have this. I think you can get this at Walmart, I think. I will put a link down in my description for this. And I know it's hard to see because it's clear. And I have this. It's a 2.5 by 18 inch ruler. I have both ways. I will say that to cut multiples at one time, I do like to use the larger thing here. So let me get my cutting mat. My machine's on one, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this because it is up a little higher. I'm going to just match up a couple strip sets here. Now, all of them are not the same exact length. Not sure why of that, because they were all cut at 8 inches. But that is okay, because I'm looking to see, okay, this is the end here that I am matching everything up with, and this is the end that I'm not. Well, this is the end that's matching, this is the end that's not. So let me show you how I do it like this. I think you may be able to see this. I'm going to just use my ruler here. And this is a rotating mat, so I lay my ruler on the edge there. Since they need to be 2.5 inches, this is a 2.5 inch square or ruler, I will just, and I know a lot of people have said stuff about how I hold this. This is the most comfortable for my wrist. So we've gotten that set. And then we will move it over and line that up on that edge again. We only need to get 3 out of this. And make sure to have a good fresh blade in your cutter, your rotary cutter. And so you're only going to have a little bitty smidgen left there on the end. And that's good, because that way you trimmed everything to the same exact size. So now I have 3 sets of strips, and I think, what is this one? 1, 2, well, I have 4 strip sets, 3 sets of strips. So that is two blocks right there. And I'm just going to go on and keep layering these. I do prefer to use this, even though that's real easy to use. Well, let me show you how easy it is to use. So find your end that is going to match up, and that would be whichever end is even on your strips. It looks like neither one of these are. And what I'm doing is I'm using my color pairs to make it, so when I cut it, it is, you know, the colors are together. So here I have 4 stacks again, or 4 layers stacked up here. And with this ruler, you do not have to, now I'm pulling it over, trying to keep it where you can see. Let me turn you down a little. Okay, I have you turned down a little more where you can see what's going on here. Making sure those are even. Now I know I'm kind of crooked over here, but it's just space here. Now this ruler has a, yeah, I'm sorry, my eyes are itching. It's kind of early. You have your 0 to 12, and I want to set that 0. I want to line up that center there. That's a bonus of using this. It does have the grid lines, but I'm going to go on the 0 and cut that to give me a good straight edge. So then I will go to my 2.5 here. Then I'll go to my 5. Then I'll go to my 7.5. I think the Stripologies actually does the math for you. But if you know your math and know how to count, it works fine. And even if you don't, it works fine. Just each notch is a 1/2 inch that they have marked off on it. And see, you have your three cuts, and I'm just putting them over here under my machine. So here I'm going to go ahead and layer the last 3. Now this is the one where I had this and I just did the one strip, so that will probably be the first one that we sew on, and I'll go in and use the rest of this because I don't know if I don't know that my ends all match up. So just to make sure, I know you're still far off and can't really see this, but it's the best I can do right now. I'm going to line this up, line that straight line up on that seam right there. And go down that 0. That 0 gives me that straight edge. Then we're going 2.5. Going 5. And 7.5. And I'll remember to do your 1/2 inch marks because that's very important. I have cut on the 2 inch instead of the 2.5 inch before on this. So let me get you turned back up. Okay, so here we are with all of our cuts. It looks like I didn't get you cut up enough, but hey, that's okay. I am going to start assembling by, now when you cut them, they're not going to be in the order maybe that you want them to be, but it's okay. Go through them. You know, you did every 4 or 5 or however many you did. And what I am doing is just nesting these seams. And yes, I have my little pins here. And guys, I am watching the clock because my husband and I are doing a real quick trip out of town today. And then making a quick trip to my quilt shop, Stitch and Faith. And I'm going to get some fabric that will help me complete a project that's in one of my project boxes. I will be smashing my stash with that one as well. So far so good this year. Now, like I said, I have been buying fabric, but I'm using it up almost as soon as I get it. Like that Starberry. I mean, I just got that, and I got a project planned with it immediately. I knew I wanted to use that Starberry. But I think what I'm going to be doing is continue with some sew-alongs. I mean, if you guys want to join me, you're more than welcome to. If you just want to sew what you're doing, you're more than welcome to do that too. I do like to have... Yeah, I'm checking to make sure my mic is on, y'all. Oh my goodness, my eyes are itching so bad this morning. Right now, what I'm doing is just showing you how I'm bringing the block together. So I've sewn those two together. I opened this up, and I have 2 greens and a red, so I know I want to put that on this other side. And I'm sorry if y'all hear that traffic out there. And we are going at about 45 minutes right now. So I'm having to watch the time because I'm going to have to leave pretty soon. Got to get myself together a little bit more before I get out the door. But I'm going to try to get a little more sewing done because I know part of that was pressing. And y'all want a little more time than that to get some sewing done. I know I do. But of course, I like to come in here and I can sew all day. Okay, so here is our block 1 that we've completed. Now, of course, this is not in the same steps. But guys, look at that. Is that not pretty? That's so cute. I'm going to put that over here, and we're going to do another block. So, I know I did 4 at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, I'm pulling them, making them in my 4 stacks. So that way I can work 2 stacks at a time. So my next one is yellow and red. So that means I get to move this red out of the way. Did I do? I haven't done a yellow red. That's a yellow red right there. Oh, that's the one I'm fixing to use. See, y'all, my mind, it's early. My mind forgets so fast what I'm doing. Yeah, we'll be seeing this on Sunday. It is not Sunday because my quilt shop is not open on Sunday. I wouldn't go there even if it was on Sunday because I wouldn't be sewing on Sunday. I do give y'all update. I do record my updates Sunday evening. Sometimes I may be able to sew on a Sunday afternoon, but normally I don't. I try to take me a day of rest also. And I know I don't have to do this repeatedly on all of these, but I like to do that just to make sure. Which do I want this to be? I'm going to do... I'm making most of them where the red is on the inside. So let's make this one where the red's on the outside. And yes, I pin my nested seams just to make sure that they go together correctly. And making sure these edges match up. Okay, so I'm going to press real quick and I will show you the progress of this. And I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I've got 2 blocks done here. You'll see where I have the 2 reds on the top here and then the 2 reds in the center here. How I press these is I press to the one that's got the most darks on it. So I press to these and then I press to the center here. So that gives me alternating pieces. So I think I have time maybe to do at least one more. Let's see. We don't need the green and the red. We don't need, oh, we do have enough to do another yellow and red. That's the good thing about when you have 2 of these strip sets. You can get 2 blocks out of each one of them. Now the green we can't because remember I pieced together a strip. But a tip from me about this quilt is to do the strips instead of the 2.5 inch blocks because it's just easier to cut it. Now if you have a lot of 2.5 inch blocks, you can go ahead and use that, kill that scrap bin as well if you can, and I may do that still. I mean, I'm pretty certain I'm going to have some pieces left over from when I cut the 6 inch strips, but I mean I still need the dark as well to do that. But we shall see, we shall see. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I haven't enough fabric though to get my strips or to get my squares. And I know this would go a lot faster if I would quit taking it off as soon as I finished one strip. Yeah, it would go faster. But that is not an issue there. I don't mind doing that. It's not a race, not a race. I'll continue to say that. This is not a race. Take your time. Enjoy spending time sewing. You don't have to get this done at any particular time. Now, if I actually sat down and just wanted to sew this all day long one day, yeah, I could probably get it done in a couple days. But I'm not doing that. I'm taking my time and enjoying my time sewing and sewing with y'all. I appreciate you guys coming and sewing with me. So I guess let me give you the spiel on this sew along. This is the Grandma Scrap Quilt sew along. The link will be down in the description for the pattern. I also will have a Facebook group link down in the description as well. You can join us there. I do have a featured post for the Grandma Scrap Quilt, and I also have a featured post for the Robert Kaufman Silverstone. And if you would like to sew along with us, you're more than welcome to comment under each one of those posts. If you have photos of that sew along, post your photos or comment your photos under those posts. And please keep it under those posts so I can keep the Facebook group clean. Anything having to do with a sew along, if you have questions, comments, or anything like that, put it under that post, because I will see it. And that way, if it's under that post, I know it's about that pattern. So here's another beautiful, I love these yellows and reds, how they go together so well. I think this is going to make a beautiful scrap quilt. So guys, it has come to time where I have to run. I have to get out of here so my husband and I can make our little quick trip, and then I can hit my little quilt shop that I want to hit. And I hope you have enjoyed yourself. Y'all keep sewing. Have a great day here. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Goodbye.